Alright, hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. It's Tuesday, and check out this truck I saw somewhere in Texas. I decided I would try and recreate it in the game, and yeah. I couldn't quite get it, but I got close enough. Let's see how it went, and here comes the boom. So I know there's been a lot of coverage about the new Volvo V12, and I may or may not be working on something myself. When playing around with that new Volvo, I noticed a bit of a mess up in the engine definition of the entry-level turbo compound engine, but that's not the subject of today's video. No, today we are taking this 1990s corporation truck White GM Volvo, and I'll put a link in the description, and maybe even a pinned comment if I can remember to do that. We're taking it on a trip. We're using my own trailer, and I believe we have sand in the back today. I think it's sand. I mean, it would something like that anyway. But either way, my own trailer, and this truck is as close as I could get it to one I spotted at a truck stop somewhere in Texas. Under the hood, we're using a Volvo D12 engine. You can find that in the Steel Productions engine pack. I'll put a link in the description below again, and yes, it's definitely sand. And it's about 41,000 pounds. We're using a 395 horsepower rated engine. So this is not the most powerful engine in the D12 series. It's the second from bottom. No trains coming. But that doesn't matter. We've got an Eaton 13 speed under the hood as well. None of this iDrive stuff in this particular generation Volvo, although I'm tempted to add it in. I've got no gear shift selector here, so we're using this in fully automated mode. But that's the reason why I spend so many miles and hours driving the trucks when I work on an engine pack. It's so you get a nice, enjoyable experience without having to manually shift gears yourself. A lot of engine modders, or some engine modders, produce amazing sounds, and they've not really looked at the gear shift points, and then it just doesn't work. And I get that because a lot of people drive it manual. I love to drive things manual. In this particular case, it's hard, and especially if I'm going to try and talk whilst going through it. My guy, I can just about drink coffee, just about, right, and maybe drive at the same time. Speaking of which, it's a coffee kind of day today, so hang on a second. Alright. So, not the fastest thing on the road, but I don't mind that. It's fairly tall gearing today. It's a 13 speed with a 336 rear end. So that kind of ties into the fact that this engine produces peak torque at very low revs. It's just over 1,000 or 1,000 RPM. So if we can, we want to cruise at just over 1,000 RPM. I'm not going to do that. Not completely here today, but I'm okay with that. And you know, this particular truck has two interiors. I'm using the original interior. There's a slightly newer generation look, I think, interior. And I can get things like a trip computer and my gear shift selector, but I'm going to keep this one a little old school today. I matched the colour from the image to get the same, and I'm rather fond of this colour. My dad had at least two Fords that looked very similar shade, and I've painted a Mack Anthem in this shade. I'm likely to be playing around with that, doing maybe even some heavy hauling, I'm not sure. Because I know the Mack Anthem, when it was released in the game, I just didn't like it that much. Mostly because I couldn't see left so well, but I persevered with it, and I'm real glad that I did. It became one of my favourite trucks. But then on the older truck side of things, this White GM Volvo is also one of my favourites, and I think it goes alongside the Mack R. I really enjoy that truck, and the Scott A2 HD. There's something I just enjoy, and until I saw that particular blue one at the truck stop, I'd never seen one on the road, or at least I'd never recognised to have seen one on the road. So the fact that I can more or less replicate that truck in the game is a good thing. I have supposed it's using a D12. It's probably not. It might be using a Cummins of some description. I didn't go up to the truck and take a look because I was way too scared to do that. But there you go. It's great to see something old still in service. Kind of like me, really. But anyway, what we have here is a uninspired but solid engine, I would say. 400 horsepower from a 12 litre is reasonable. It's just in the context of fully 2,000 pounds almost. It's a little low, but it's doing okay. Fairly flat roads, that doesn't help. Fairly tall gearing, that good for efficiency, I suppose. But not so much for hill climbing. And it's just an enjoyable trip. This highlights one of the things I love to do in American Truck Simulator, and that is sometimes under the flag of testing an engine, sometimes under the flag of just hanging out and cruising the roads. I can listen to a podcast while playing this game, and that's something that very few games I can really do. So it's a lot to be said for just driving along and enjoying the scenery and enjoying the road and just relaxing. Not so many games are really like that. However, speaking of relaxing, I've got about 4 hours left to drive and 2.5 hours before I got to take my break, so we'll need to take a rest stop. With this being a day cab, that probably means I should find a motel or a hotel, so I don't have a sleeper behind me. So I'm going to pick up the speed and see if I can get somewhere sooner, because I really don't want to be sleeping in the cabin tonight. Plus, we'll see how capable this machine is at 75, 80 miles an hour as well. That's always a good thing, right?
Going too fast.
Yes, Doug. I'm going too fast. There we come off boost. Would you... Okay, well, I kind of figured that would happen. So let's get on the engine brake. I reach my cruising speed, and then I go to a weigh station, and I'm going to pull off. Ooh, fair bit of braking going on here. Okay. Oh, it's this one. Yeah, this has got this great big loop where I'm going to sit behind these other semis at 15. But if there's nothing here, you could get some speed up. I wonder what this gross weight is. So yeah, I think just to summarize this video so far, it's taken out for a cruise, matching this truck to something I saw in the real world. If you like the thought of that, there goes my sleepiness, let me know in the comments below and I might do some more of them, because I get to see lots of trucks. I only live maybe 30 minutes from the Peterbilt factory in Denton, Texas. So hey, I mean, any excuse, right? Won't be single Volvo being made at that factory, but we will be seeing the 589 on the roads pretty soon enough. I haven't spotted one so far, or maybe I have, they just look so close to a 389 I can't really tell. Anyway, let's get things prepared. Got a bit of money in the bank today, that's good. I've been saving up because I managed to kill my economy. I had to sell everything. Alright, what do we weigh? 82,000 pounds, okay. Right, well I'm going to pull over, I think. I'm going to take a break here. It looks like there's nowhere to sleep, but that's okay, I'll be fine. And yeah, I'm going to draw this video to a close. Hope that you enjoyed it. If you have, you know what to do. If you haven't, you also know what to do. Keep the rubber side down, keep the blue whales singing. I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks so much for stopping by. Take care.